beautiful souls. It's great to connect with you here. If you're new, welcome to my channel. I hope you enjoy this video and find it helpful. If you're a returning tribe member, welcome back. I love you all. Thank you so much for your continued support. All right, lovelies, let's get into it. Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back. Welcome if you're new, of course. Today, we're going to speak about violence, struggle, pain, suffering, challenge. Okay? The usefulness of it and why we endure while we're here in this realm, in this strange, fantastical place. Okay? So, first, let's cover why this is important to understand. It's important to understand because a depth of understanding on the why behind our pain and suffering and the usefulness of our pain and suffering, how it is meant to be utilized, leads us to acceptance, which leads us to healing. That's how the ball bounces. Okay? Very important process. Let's get into it. You may notice, if you are a fan of cosmology or you are a fan of nature, or you are a fan of babies. If you are a fan of the processes of life, all things living, all creative processes, you will notice and come to understand that challenge, violence, pain, and suffering is present in all creative processes. I paused for a minute there because it's like, is it all really though? Have I dissected every single creative process to see, is this the truth across the board? Yes, on varying degrees, Because even when we create from a place of non-resistance, there's still challenge within the creative process. There's still a process of putting together and disassembling and trying a different way, or being challenged to add to or to distract from. There's always some component of challenge within creation. Okay, but what I want to take you through is the process of creating a planet that houses life, that creates life. Some of you know good and damn well how a planet's created, and it's very violent, okay? And kind of hellish even. And this destructive process ends up creating planets or beings, by the way, okay? It ends up creating this incredible and incredibly powerful being that is just awesome, awe-inspiring, just brilliant. Okay? I love planets and stars. I love space. It's very grounding. You would think space would be very ethereal, but it's very grounding, because it reminds you of where you're from, what you're made of, the very stuff that you're made of. So, when you think about the process of creating a planet and how destructive and how violent that process is, and then you look at the outcome of that, and the sheer magnitude and the sheer power and the sheer beauty, okay, and the force, my God, the energetic field of a planet, of a star, of a moon, okay? It's incredible, right? It's a very natural process. Would you agree? Have you ever seen a baby born? Okay? There's some struggle involved in that process. It's not a pretty process. It looks rather painful. Looks pretty violent to me. I don't know, there's a lot of ripping, tearing, screaming, crying going on. It's pretty violent. For the mother and for the child, the baby. Okay? It's not just this seamless, but isn't birth really natural? Isn't it a natural thing? It's something that we're all like, oh my God, it's so beautiful. And I look at birth, I'm like, oh, I'm like, that looks painful and crazy. Why do people do that more than one time? Thank God my mother is strong, has a strong mind and strong will that she got two of us out, because I wouldn't want to live my life without my little brother. You know what I'm saying? Because he's a shit. I'm really glad he's here. Thank God our mom was tough, man. Thank God she's tough. But me, not in that way. I'm tough in a lot of other ways, but maybe not that one. But anyway, back to the content here. But you can see how violence, struggle, and challenge is a natural part of life, of the creation of life, and also the evolution of life. Okay? I want you to think about also how a seedling, under all those layers of earth, has to push and force its way up and through all those layers of earth to reach the sun. Okay? To be able to receive all the nutrients that it needs in order to thrive, in order to continue to grow to its fullest and greatest capacity. That is not an easy thing for a plant. Okay? It looks easy to us because it's a natural process. Of course, it's going to push through all those layers and come up and then become this beautiful plant or this wonderful, amazing, crazy, huge tree, right? Of course it is. It's nature. That's how it works. Yep. Now, this is what we need to understand, is that we need to understand that so too is the process with us. All right? We don't contract into this realm, into this experience, to just have this smooth go of it. To just, oh, this is so nice and it's so easy. Oh my God. Like, who wouldn't want to come here to Earth? Yes, I definitely feel like my soul is definitely growing. I mean, that yacht party, okay? No. All of those good, fun things are part of our experience, but so is the pain and the struggle and the challenge and the suffering. Now, I'm not going to get all Buddhist on you with this. That life is just suffering. Because that shit is way out of balance. And we didn't come here to just suffer the entire time we're here. Okay? That's not the business. But what I will tell you is that pain, challenge, suffering, violence, it's all part of the experience. All right? And it depends on what we contracted in, But this is a realm of duality, meaning that there are opposing forces here. The light and the dark lives here within each and every one of us, which is why it is forced to live within our external, to be present within our external environment, because we're the ones who are creating all of this. Okay? So, to know beauty and to know joy and to know safety and to know unconditional love, to know trust, to know patience, to know kindness, to know gentleness, to know all of this in the here and now, in this realm, in these meat suits, mean that we also have to become familiar with the opposite of all of these things. Okay? Because if you don't know what hatred and meanness looks like, you don't know what kindness really is. And you don't know how important it is. You don't know how impactful it is. You don't know how powerful it is. You don't know how healing it is. A smile from a stranger. Okay? A hug right when you need it. Someone who understands you. Okay? Someone who knows that you are more than your actions. All right? The only reason you know the goodness of that is because you know what it means to be rejected. The only reason that you are so appreciative when someone treats you right and treats you well, treats you the way you deserve to be treated, is because you know what it feels like when someone treats you like you're not worth anything, or that you are less valuable than another human being. Okay? That's the spice of life, folks. Contrast. Duality. Okay? Here, how we've decided to set this up is that we can't have one without the other. We can't know the depths of the good without knowing the depths of the bad. Okay? In the second dimension is where we created the light, the divine masculine energy, a penetrating force. All right? A purifying force. Okay? We created this duality because we wanted to have physical experiences. And in order to create physicality, in order to create experience, we knew that we needed an opposing force. We needed contrast. So that's what we got, baby. And then we created the third dimension, which is physicality. Okay? So material, even though it is but an illusion, it's a pretty cool illusion, isn't it? It's very fucking convincing. It's very convincing. Our perception is wild. The fact that because I believe that my hand should be solid, that it is. And if I could retrain my brain to believe that my hand is not solid, I would be able to pass right through it, because it's just a bunch of atoms and there's no physical form in an atom. Atoms mostly comprised of energy, which is not a solid form. Okay? So our perceptions, whoo, some badass stuff going on around here to be able to create all of this. We are magical. We are magical. We are powerful beyond our awareness at this point in time, you know? So, anyhow, I say all of that to kind of give you another perception, another perspective, to shift your paradigm on how you perceive life here on earth, the why behind the struggle. Okay? It's a way out for you to give yourself some solace and some peace of mind, to perhaps not to continue looking at your past as just being something that will forever limit and restrict you, will forever haunt you. It's not made for that. Pain and suffering isn't designed for that. Pain and suffering is designed to be very activating. Okay? It's designed to awaken your inner power. It's designed to strengthen your connection to the divine. It's also designed to strengthen your connection with humanity. Okay? Pain, suffering, and violence has the capacity and the ability to awaken our Christ consciousness, our unity consciousness, to remind us, oh yeah, we're all connected. Okay? Through an act of violence, one may perceive an act of violence, one person being the perpetrator and the other person being the victim, as the victim's the only one being hurt. Oh no, that's not true. That's not true. Perpetrator's taken on just as much damage as the victim is. It's just in a different way. Energetically speaking, if you were to register both energy fields, you wouldn't be able to see a difference between the damage that's being taken on from a perpetrator and from an abuser, from a victim's perspective. You wouldn't be able to differentiate between the two. That's how connected we are. Because what we do to another person, we're doing to ourselves. Okay? And remember that thing I was telling you about is that we're here to learn and progress our souls. We're here for many different reasons. It really depends on our soul contracts, but at the core of why we choose to incarnate here, and in the timeline in which we choose to incarnate within, okay, these are decisions that we make as a spirit, as an essence, because we know the big picture. We see it very clearly. Okay? These are the experiences that I know that I should have, that I need to have in order to activate X, Y, and Z within me, in order to reclaim my power, in order to reclaim my compassion. And the list goes on and on and on. Okay? In order to balance out this karma that I created in my past life, one of them, many of them perhaps, I need to experience X, Y, and Z in this life. Okay? And this is all to progress me, my soul, and this is also all of this data that's being collected through our experiences is contributing to collective consciousness, to the growth of all of us. Okay? No matter what a person's life looks like, no matter what decisions that they're making at any given time, no matter what that looks like from my limited purview, from your limited purview, no matter what it looks like to us, they're doing their fucking job. Okay? Because no matter what role you're playing in life, how you're playing it, how you're feeling about it, no matter any of that, you are contributing to the evolution of the collective consciousness, which is all of us. Okay? You are contributing. Whether you're destroying or you're building up, you're contributing. And your journey is to be respected for that reason. Okay? I cannot agree with you. I can disagree with you. I can disagree with your actions. Okay? I can even condemn your actions, but I can't condemn you as a human, and I sure as hell can't condemn your soul. Who the fuck am I to do that? Who the fuck is anybody to do that? You're just doing what you're here to do, no matter what that looks like to the rest of us. All right? No matter how uncomfortable that makes other people, no matter how many people you may be healing or hurting, you're doing your job. Okay? Because from the higher mind, from the higher self, from the high vibrational state, everything's working out perfectly here, right according to plan. Couldn't be more perfect. Everyone's playing their part to perfection all the time. Everything's happening exactly as it should. We are moving forward as individuals right on schedule. We are moving forward as a collective right on schedule. Thank God we have opposing forces on this planet. Thank God we have something that allows us to learn more about who we are and the role we wish to play here. Thank God, what a blessing, you know? Doesn't feel like a blessing when you're in the shit, but once you've done a considerable amount of healing, and once you have trained yourself to be able to see life here on earth from a higher level of consciousness, you're going to start seeing the perfection in the game, within the game. Okay? Everything's happening exactly as it should. People are like, how dare you fucking say that? There are children who are being tortured, and there are people who are dying senselessly. There's so much death and destruction and injustice and inequality. How dare you say everything is happening exactly as it should? Everything is happening exactly as it should. Okay? We have a lot of souls here on earth who are sacrificing a lot to teach us. Your job is to respect the process. Okay? I know it's hard to do. It's hard to see things from a place that isn't tainted with our broken emotionality. Okay? I say broken emotionality because there's healthy emotionality when we're coming from a place of balance and harmony, and when we've done our inner work, and when we're integrated, and when we've healed, okay? Then our emotionality is very trustworthy. It's very stable. All right? It gives us the messages we're meant to receive in the way that we're meant to receive them. When we're out of balance, which most people are, especially right now, emotions are not to be trusted fully. Okay? They don't always come in clear. Okay? It's not always a reflection of our higher self or our, our inner truth. Not always. Not when we're in balance. Okay? So that's why I say that. All right, so we understand that we have this contrast here because within the contrast is the beauty. Within contrast is life. That's why we have the feminine and the masculine energy. That's why we have the sun and the moon. Okay? That's why we have the 4 elements: earth, air, water, fire. Okay? That's why we have up. That's why we have down. That's why we have right. That's why we have wrong. Good, bad. Light, dark. Okay? We've developed all of this contrast in order to have experience and in order to create material, physical worlds. Okay, Mother Gaia was here way before record, way before any scientist, can guesstimate. Because she was here in energetic vibration before she took material form, before she took physical form. As were all of us. Okay? Everything was already here, but it was unseen. It was in the dark, within the triple blackness of space. But it was still here, and so were we. All right? So, in the second dimension, we knew what we were doing when we created contrast. When we created a force that's a counterpart, but also can play the role of antagonist. All right? It's the reason that we're doing all of this. To learn more about ourselves. Life is very circular. Everything that matters here is all very circular. We always return back to center. We always return back to the place of birth, if you will. But we return back forever changed, and that's the point. Oftentimes in a person's life, when you're a child, let's just throw out a number. When you're 5 years old, your soul already knows who you are and who you are to become. And then you get older and you lose that sense of self, that sense of grounding. You stop remembering, you begin to forget. And then you go this way and that way and this way and that way. And people spend, isn't it ironic to you that adults will spend years and years and even decades trying to find themselves as if they were ever lost? You've always been right here, right where you are. You knew who you were back then. So some people would ask, well, what the fuck is the point of this? If I knew who I was and why I was here and everything, and I had all the knowledge with me that I needed when I was 5, what am I doing here until I'm 80? This is some cruel, sick game? No. It's the process of life. You begin here, and then you get lost, and you go all around, and this entire time that you're circling around, you're learning about yourself and who you are, who you're not, who you want to be, and why. You're learning. And you come back to the place in which you began, but you come back forever changed. You come back with a deeper knowledge and wisdom of the self. Okay? It's not unlike a child leaving home when they're 18 and going and exploring the world and coming back home when they're 26. They came back to the exact point in which they began their journey. But oh, the things that they've learned. And the journey is all we have. The journey is the most important thing. That's why we created it and designed it to be so. Okay? So, this isn't something that I'm speaking to you all about to encourage you to not place any importance upon your pain or suffering, or to not feel it, or to deny it in some way. Absolutely not. Feeling it, taking it in, letting it overtake you sometimes is necessary, because of all the activations we gain from it, because of all the knowledge that we gain. We uncover things within ourselves and about ourselves that we never knew to be true before. And the only way that we could have figured that out is through that shitty experience. You must think of life as it is in terms of growth and activation. It's the very basis of experience. It's the why you've been looking for. Okay? And like I mentioned before, the point in understanding the usefulness and the necessity right now, at this time, the age in which we're in, the frequency of the earth right now, it's a necessity for us to have opposition. It's a necessity for us to experience challenge and difficulty and pain at times. Okay? You don't want to live your life in that, your entire life in that frequency. That's not cool. Okay? And I did say before that no one's meant to do that, but I was wrong. Like, there are people who are here solely, their entire existence here is to suffer. There are souls who contract in to sacrifice themselves. Okay? There are souls who contract in to sacrifice themselves, to die in horrible ways, to go through horrible things in life, and or to die, in our eyes, way too soon. Okay? Deaths that we think are senseless, and these are souls who contract in for these experiences, and they do it for their growth, but they also do it for our growth. Okay? Because nothing activates a person like injustice. Okay? Like a senseless crime. You understand? It always, every time these things happen, occur in our world, it always creates powerful people, activists, It always ends up creating powerful healers. All of this pain and suffering. We get some powerful and beautiful things out of this. All right? And you'll be able to start seeing that very clearly once you start viewing yourself, your experience, and everyone else in the world from a higher level of consciousness, from a higher vibration. Then you will see this strategy that's involved here very clearly. I'm like, shit, we're a bunch of geniuses to figure all this out. This is strategy taken to a level that boggles my mind. And I am really fucking intelligent. I'm great at strategy. I am the architect. There's a lot I can see with my prefrontal cortex, but this ain't got shit on our intuitive manifesting capacity. Like, we're on some genius shit here. Congratulations to all of us. Really, we've done a fantastic job. This is all very amazing. And very shitty at times. Like, whew, we really took that contrast business seriously, didn't we? Man, boy, oh boy. we left no stone unturned in that process. So, thorough. We're thorough for sure. I don't know if we deserve a gold medal for that or anything, but here we are. So, anyhow, I hope this was helpful to someone out there in TV land. Again, in closing, it's important for us to have a depth of understanding, to make sense of this, the things that we have experienced, the things that we endure. Okay? The tragedy that is along our fate paths of destiny. It's important for us to know that these things are not punishments, although they feel like it. Okay? That these are codes of activation. These are opportunities for us to reclaim our power we didn't realize we possessed beforehand. Okay? It's meant to make us into powerhouses, balanced powerhouses, not maniacal powerhouses. Okay? To become the most powerful of healers. To become powerful influencers in the positive way. Okay? For young people to look at you and to say, holy shit, it's possible to come back from that? Wow, okay, I got this, right? To give people inspiration, okay, to give people clarity, to give people the opportunity to return to a state of self-love, self-acceptance, to give people the opportunity to know thyself, respect thyself fully, all aspects, right? It's very activating. It's to remind us to integrate, to remind us that we are far from being linear or one-dimensional, far from it. We're very complex, not complicated, but complex, absolutely. All right, my beautiful friends, that's it on this. I'm going to hash this out with you all time and time again. This is a message that I feel like people need to be reminded about every so often, okay? So I will be touching on this again in later videos. As always, your comments are welcome and appreciated. Leave your opinions, your thoughts, your questions in the comment section, and I will respond if I can. If I have the time and if I see your comment, I'll respond to it, if it's respectful. Okay, that's it for today. I love you all. Take care of yourselves. Goodbye. Alright, my loves, if you made it this far in the video, thank you for spending your precious time with me. If this message resonates with you, please give this video a thumbs up. It grabs the attention of the YouTube algorithm so that my videos get recommended to more people. Please share this video with your family and friends. This is a great way to spread the word and connect me with people you think will benefit from my knowledge and wisdom. I'd love to connect with you in the comment section. Please share your thoughts and questions with me and just tell me how you're doing these days, okay? Be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit that bell for notifications. This is free to you, so if you'd like to support me and my spiritual and creative process, subscribing to my channel is the best way to show your appreciation. Also, I upload exclusive videos, extended videos, artwork, and book recommendations along with book PDFs to Patreon. I also post all videos you see here on YouTube to Patreon about a week or two in advance. So if you'd like to become a Shin Dynasty tribe member, you'll have exclusive access to content no one else can view. And once we reach the 200 patrons goal, I will be live streaming on Patreon and making myself available for one-on-one mentoring sessions, only for my patrons. So that's pretty exciting. That concludes today's video. Thanks for spending time with me today. Sending you all much love. Shin Dynasty, signing out.